What's up, everyone? It's Chris with Wildcat Barbecue. Well, it's February, the big game is over. You know what that means? That's right, Valentine's Day. Today, we're doing a great Valentine's meal out on the Blackstone. Let's get going. Now, there are a lot of components to this meal. The first thing we're going to do is get our potatoes ready. So I'm using these fingerling potatoes. They are a white and purple variety. I just quarter them up and clean them off a little bit, get that starch off of them. Now we're going to do a little bit of oil, salt, and some pepper. And last, I'm going to use just an Italian herb mix. Basically, it has some oregano, parsley, herb de Provence, all that kind of stuff. And basically just shake it up. The next thing we're going to do is a bacon wrapped asparagus bunch. So first what we're going to do is we're going to get our asparagus all cut and trimmed and cleaned. Put some oil on them. Now we're going to use some It's Incredible by Heaven Made Products. Great, just overall savory flavor. Roll it around. Okay, each bunch is only going to have 5 or 6 spears in it. Get them all evened out and wrap them in bacon. Really no science about this. You don't have to use a full slice of bacon either. Whatever you want. One trick I like doing is once I get up here, kind of just tuck it inside. They'll stay together. And as the bacon cooks, it'll tighten up. Okay, that's done. Now for the steaks. So this is where your creative juices really gotta be flowing. So we're using these New York strip steaks. I normally like using ribeye, but for what we're doing with these, New York really does play better. And we're using some really good thick cut steaks. These are about 1.5 inches. First thing we're going to do is we're going to trim off this fat along the edge. I know normally some people like this, like me, but for what we're doing, you need to get rid of this fat. Just kind of follow along. All right, so I got all that fat taken off. Now this is where you really gotta get creative. Remember in school when you folded the paper in half, cut 1/2 of a heart, and when you open it up, it was a full heart? That's what we're gonna be doing with these steaks. So you kind of have to visualize the half heart. So for the downward, you want to cut this off. And again, save this for hamburgers or sausage. But because of the fat right there, it would separate as we open it up and butterfly it. So you got the arc, and then for the point, come down here. Now you don't have to get perfect right here. You can shape it up more when you open it up and butterfly it. But just get as much as possible. All right, so we got our nice curve going. So now what we need to do is butterfly this. So just like you're butterflying chicken, get about halfway through and cut down. And basically you're just butterflying out. Now you do want to go towards all the way down to your tip of your heart, then come up. So what I'm doing is I'm coming up along here. And I'm stopping right here and coming up. Basically butterflying out that heart. So once you have it butterflied, you don't really need to mash it down or anything. It kind of lays down, and then just go back through and get your details out. Obviously every steak is going to be different, so it's not going to look the same each time, but it's going to get close, and it's the thought that counts. So, all right, so do the same thing on this one. I know this is kind of one of those silly things, like why would you do this? But Valentine's Day is one of those days where you really need to take the extra time to show them you care, you know? For better or for worse, here are our heart steaks. All right, now we're gonna do some seasoning. So we're gonna just do a little bit of Worcestershire, however you want to say it. Basically, it's just gonna act as a binder. And then you can use whatever rub you want. I'm using my own seasoning. Basically, you want a good portion of salt and pepper. So just use whatever you want. If you want to just use salt and pepper, that's fine too. But I'm using a rub that I'm working on that's specifically for beef. Don't get too thick, because it's not like it's going to go out on a grill and just soak in. It's going out on a Blackstone, so real thick seasoning might have a higher chance of burning. All right, got our seasoning in. I'm gonna put this in a tin over here. And this is just gonna rest up while we get our Blackstone ready and pull everything outside. See you outside. All right, let's get this going. So I'm using my 28-inch Pro Series. I'm just gonna be using the right two burners. I'm gonna use this side off as kind of a warm holding area. All right, so I have this burner, the middle burner, set to about a medium high, and this one kind of a low to low medium. So let that warm up. All right, so we're about right where I want to be. And for people that want to know, I'm right in the middle. I'm running at about 260 to 250. That's what I'm aiming for. And then on the right side, I am about 160, 170. On the cold side, it actually reads about 140. So it's right where I want to be. So the longest cooking part of this is going to be the potatoes. Let's get a little bit more oil down. Right in the middle here. And obviously you want these things to be crispy, but you need them cooked through all the way. So what we're going to do at first, we're going to dome it. Some water down. Let it cook in there for about 5 minutes or so. So that will help cook them all the way through and get the outside kind of crispy and firm. Because if you just did it on the stovetop without covering it, it'd take a little longer to cook all the way through. You get a nice firm outside, but then they'd be raw on the inside. So this way, it helps kind of simulate that oven. After a couple minutes, kind of just pop this up, turn them. That way you make sure they're getting even cooked on all sides. Make sure they all have contact with the grill. And pop that back over. Obviously, it'd be easier if you have an oven glove or something, but we'll make that work. Okay, while the potatoes are going, get a little oil on this side, on the low to low medium side. I'm gonna start our asparagus. Go ahead and point them so the base is towards the hot side. That'll help keep this thing from overcooking. And give yourself enough space over here. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see it. Make sure you give yourself enough space, because what we're going to be doing is we're basically going to be rolling them as they cook. That way you don't have to get tongs or whatever and risk busting up the packet. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes since we put the asparagus on. I just rotated the potatoes again and I put some more water in there. So we're going to kind of just roll the asparagus. That way make sure you get all sides cooking. Basically what we're looking for now is we're waiting for the potatoes to get mostly cooked, because the steaks are not going to take that much time. So we want, like, again, the potatoes are the longest part of this. That's why you put them on first. When they're almost ready, that's when we'll kind of slide everything over to the right side and we'll do our steaks. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes total cook time on the potatoes, about 15 on the asparagus. And I've been rolling these every 2 minutes or so. But let's check our potatoes. Nice and fragrant. See the crispiness on the outside. Check our tenderness. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Nice bite. And they are going to continue to cook a little bit, but what we're going to do is we're going to roll our asparagus this way. And as you do this, check your sides, see if there's any side that's not getting cooked as much. Push these over here, and our potatoes are going to go into this back corner and they can continue to cook. Some more oil over there. That spot was kind of dry. Potatoes in there, flip out a little bit. Those will continue to cook. All right, so we have this area right here. It has a lot of flavoring from the spices that we're using on the potatoes. Just a little more oil. Surface looked a little dry. And again, we're at about medium-high heat. Check our temp. About 430 to 380, depending on the spot. So when you pick up these steaks, kind of do it from the tip of the heart. And when you put them down, kind of form how you want them to form, because they will cook like they're on there, however they look. So any last minute changes, now's the time to do it. All right, let those sit for a few minutes. Probably going to be about 3 minutes per side. It's been about 2.5 minutes, and I can see on the edge of the steak it's starting to get cooked. So because they're butterflied out, you're gonna have a shorter cooking time than you normally think. Now what we're gonna do is take some tongs, and again, grab the tip of the heart and flip. Oh, look at that sear on there. Look at the color on those steaks. That's really beautiful. And kept that heart shape really nice. All right, so it's been about 5.5 minutes total cook on the steaks. Go ahead and check our temp. And about 125, right in the heart of the steak. 135, perfect. So the different sides will have a different temperature depending on how well you butterflied, how even you got. So if you have to adjust your edges or your directions, do what you need to do. But these are looking good, so I'm actually going to go ahead and pull them off. Let them rest. I have a board inside here. Let them rest a bit. Potatoes. Just here, if I see how well I can maneuver this. And then carefully take some clean tongs. Grab our asparagus. That's it. Switch off. Here's our final product. Dress it up however you like. All right, got the pretty stuff out of the way. Got the pictures. Now I want to try this stuff. So I'm gonna try the potatoes first. Nice and tender. Nice and soft. Lots of flavor. You can see my fork just goes into it and smashes it open. Great. If you want to do like a gravy or a little more olive oil dripped on top, go for it. Asparagus. So you can be all dainty about it, but I like doing with the packets. And the flavor from it's incredible. It's incredible. Get some. I'm gonna get some with the bacon. Bacon still has some tug to it. That's okay. Some people like it like that. Because the bacon is wrapped around the moist asparagus, it's not always gonna get that really extra crispy. Just on the outside, it's gonna get a nice crisp to it. But the asparagus themselves are a nice bite to it, but tender. Great flavor. All right, now for the steak. It's nice mid-rare to more towards the medium side. Nice and tender. Melts in your mouth. No sauce needed. I'm gonna kind of dip it into its own juices here. If you want, you can do like a compound butter dripping on top. I would not use steak sauce because it does not need it. Here, let's do what they do on the shows. A little bit of everything. Small bit of potato, small piece of steak, get some asparagus with some bacon. Nice bite of everything. You got different textures going on. It's not all mush. Got some bite from the asparagus. The outside of the potatoes is nice and firm, but the inside's that delicate, soft texture, cloud texture. Steak, great salt and pepper flavor. There's some other stuff in that rub, but again, use whatever rub you want, whatever seasonings. Man, I can't stop eating this. It's really freaking good. See how easy that cut? Now these aren't the greatest knives in the world, but look, just one smooth pass and it kind of just tears apart. It's falling apart. Look at that. You can pull it apart. Didn't even slice it. All right, I hope you like this one. It's kind of creative with the whole heart-shaped steak thing, but even if you're not going to do that, this is a great meal for any day, for any occasion. And having everything on the Blackstone, it just makes one cooking surface for everything. You kind of have to know your timing of whatever you're cooking. Before I showed you, timing about 25 minutes, maybe 30 tops, from potatoes start to steak finish. So it's not really a time killer. You just gotta get all your prep, get everything ready. That way when you're out there, you can just focus on that and make sure everyone has a great meal. And if it is for Valentine's, you can make sure that everyone has a fantastic and beautiful night. So I do hope you like this. Please go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that bell notification and make sure you hit the all notifications so you know exactly when I have videos coming out. And I am going to be doing some competitions coming up in the next few months, so be on the lookout for those. And hey, if you don't have a Blackstone, don't worry about it. This is a great recipe for any grill or cooker or even in the kitchen. And that just plays into what I always say. No matter what you got, no matter how you're going to do it, just cook it. See ya.